By now, you've probably heard my magic wand story. It's a brand that's been part of my personal journey for more than 20 years. But no matter how many times I sing Magic Wand's praises, I'll never be able to fully capture the story of this incredible brand. Well, now journalist and author Kate Sloan just completed a limited audio series documenting the history and impact that Magic Wand has created over the last 56 years. It's called Making Magic. And the series chronicles Magic Wand's incredible brand story through interviews with nearly 40 experts, performers, business owners, educators, and fans. So I got a sneak preview of the series, and what I loved is that Kate weaves together snippets from all their interviews into this amazing story arc. She covers Magic Wand's journey from appliance store massager to its legendary influence on culture and sexual independence, and it's all just fascinating. The first episodes of Making Magic are available now at makingmagicseries.com or on all popular podcast platforms. Just search for Making Magic or visit makingmagicseries.com today.
I tried to guide the finger there, and it gets pushed away.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is a deal breaker or not.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing, Jeff. So you're 31 years old. Is she your age as well?
She's 28.
Okay. So here's the thing. You've been together 5 months. I think you have to have the conversation about sex outside the bedroom. Because if you're telling me she's not that adventurous, it's not that likely that she would be into you leading her finger towards your ass.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. I'm Dr. Emily, and I'm here to help you prioritize your pleasure and liberate the conversation around sex. So you want to try a new kink? Well, you've come to the right podcast. On today's Best of show, I'll answer your questions and help open your mind and body to all things kink and BDSM, from squirting to nipple-gasms, because pushing ourselves outside our comfort zone can lead to enhanced intimacy and heightened pleasure. All you need are the right tools, compassionate communication, patience, and plenty of lube. All right, intentions with Emily. For each episode, join me in setting an intention for the show. I do it. I encourage you to do it. What do you want to get out of this episode? Well, my intention is to help you expand your pleasure beyond the ordinary. Because even if kink is just not your thing, just talking through new types of pleasure can bring you and your partner closer together and have a whole lot more pleasure. Please rate and review Sex with Emily wherever you listen to the show. My article, 6 Kink Styles and How to Explore Them, is up at sexwithemily.com. Also, check out my YouTube channel, social media, and TikTok. It's all at Sex with Emily for more sex tips and advice. Want to ask me questions? Leave me your questions or message me, sexwithemily.com/assemily, or just call my hotline, 559-TALK-SEX or 559-825-5739. Always include your name, your age, where you live, and how you listen to the show. And of course, totally cool to change your name or choose to remain anonymous. Oh, one more thing. Super excited. I'm doing my first live event since 2020. It's going to be in Los Angeles with my good friend, Dr. Jen Fried. As you know, she's been on the show. She's a psychological astrologer, and it's going to be to celebrate her new book, and it's at Dynasty Typewriter on Friday, October 7th at 6 p.m. Please come join me. I'm really excited to see all of y'all. We're going to be discussing her new book, A Map to Your Soul, and just talking about how to nurture yourself, live your potential. Jen and I go off on a lot of great conversations that I know are going to inspire you. I'm going to put a link to tickets in the show notes. Come say hi. I'd love to see you. All right, everyone, enjoyed this episode.
Bondage. People always want to know, what does it mean to tie my partner up? How do we consensually tie each other up? So bondage means to be restrained for erotic purposes, essentially. The B in BDSM, which is bondage, discipline, sadomasochism.
I like being tied up. And also, even during my wedding, actually. So my husband brought, because we got married in Hawaii, but he said he was going to bring some rope. And of course, it's not like your typical rope, you guys. It's not like your, the kind you see that looks like it would hurt you or something. No, you could even use something that's like material that you would use for yarn or something like that. It doesn't have to necessarily be your average, you think some rope you use to tie a boat with or something. It's not
thank God.
Yeah,
boat rope seems hard.
Exactly.
Death by rope.
not like that. But yeah, so he used actually this very, like a yarn. It was almost like a yarn. It was very soft. It felt very nice because he knows I don't like things that like would scratch or anything. And he tied up my breasts. And so that he basically put it down the center of them and then tied them apart somewhat. So it didn't hurt so much, but it was more like tying them so they were separated, almost like it was a bra in itself. And it was like a halter. It was very cute. I'll have to show you pictures. But yeah, and so that was kind of like a bondage that we would do.
Like that night. And your hands were also tied?
Yes. So that's the thing. It tied to my hands as well. So it was very...
Because you have breasts.
Right. Yes.
Like for me, I mean, I have some, but that wouldn't work for everybody.
Right. Exactly.
There's no breast anchors.
Yeah.
But bondage is a very popular kink for people.
Right.
And I think, we make it so difficult. Like just use some string, use some bondage tape. We actually have some bondage tape here, which Nick, are you there, our call screener? I really wanted to tie you up in New York so badly, but we were so busy that I didn't get to. And I wanted to use this bondage tape because it's so friggin' cool. Have you seen this before?
Oh, no.
So let me tell you why I love bondage tape.
It looks like duct tape.
Sticks. It looks like duct tape. And it comes in different colors. There's like red and black and purple. But it's reusable. But it sticks to itself. So let's say I had my two hands here.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. So give me your hands.
Okay.
I'm going to tie you up. So you go like this. And literally, you guys, it is my favorite thing. I think I discovered this like 14 years ago when that was still my favorite thing. So there you go. Look at this. So it sticks to itself. You can just break it. You can use your teeth.
Yes.
But
it's almost like a decal.
Okay, there. It works.
Yeah.
But you could even make it tighter, right?
Right.
So you could wear this around you could do it in your hands. You could do it around I could blindfold you.
Right.
I could blindfold you. I got to stay on mic and do bondage. I have to tie someone up while being on the mic. This is a first. Okay. So, turn around. So you know what I'm saying. And this is it. So watch. She's got a blindfold. And this tape is like $12 a roll. And it's reusable if you want to. So
y'all are doing great, by the way.
And it doesn't stick to its hair. It doesn't stick to the hair. It doesn't stick to yourself. Look at her.
She's a natural.
Is it like you're at home or something? Is it like your husband? Is this fun?
We're either going to kidnap
Oh my
her.
God. You could do it around their mouth. You could do it around the legs. And it's for you. Like, how great is bondage? So easy. And you're all like, I don't know how to do it. Do you want to come out of this? Okay, but don't you think it's cool? Would you use it? You're a very good subject.
This is actually really awesome.
How easy that came off, too.
I just typed-
That's actually...
What I love
Look at that.
about it,
You
too,
don't have
though,
to say
is that
right away.
it's not like duct tape, and it actually doesn't stick to your skin, so it doesn't feel like you have something that's so sticky that it would hurt you. It actually is not, doesn't hurt any at all.
No.
Which is nice.
It doesn't, I put it over your hair. She has this long, you
And
should
it
see
didn't hurt,
Christina's
it didn't pull
hair.
my hair.
She's the most beautiful luxury. Every day I stare at her and I go, how is her hair so perfectly long and the highlights and the things and the thickness? Good genes. But yeah, you just do it and it's really easy. I think in our mind we think it's a big boat rope or we think it has a locking key and you got to like lock up the handcuffs. But no, it's just so easy to do. And it's just hot because you're feeling restrained or you take away eyesight, then everything else becomes more heightened. And so I think it's, popular for a lot of people. And that's why we want to talk about like beginner bondage. So you want to make sure you have consent. You don't want to just like whip out the bondage tape. Be like, hey, babe, you want to talk about it ahead of time. You want to pay attention to your body. Like, how does it feel in the moment? What are you enjoying about it? Can you let go? I mean, I think that the great thing about playing with bondage is that you actually get the person who's being tied up gets to like kind of let go a little bit. And you let go in the sense of you're not doing anything, but also you are feeling much more in your body. Because when you take away movement or eyesight, you're feeling more, and you're also feeling more connected. That for people who have like ADD and their mind wanders, I'm raising my hand, is that sometimes you're in a power play with your partner, so you're just feeling, it also can be really more intimate. It's not as disassociative. A lot of people kind of go in their minds and like fantasize during sex, but this is like a very connected, intimate act.
Definitely.
Right?
True.
With your husband too? You feel like...
100%. It's more intimate. That's what I think I love about it. And we switch, so I can tie him up as well. That's the thing. It's like we both get to see how that dominant and submissive relationship can be, and switching because he's so dominant in his work and I'm so dominant in my work. We like being submissive both, but we also like to dominate.
Had you always had a sense that you could be both switching?
I didn't. That's the thing. I always thought I wanted to be submissive. And then Nick got it out of me. He was able to pull out from me being more into my dominant side. And what's so funny is all my gay friends said, we knew you had it in you. And I was like, oh my God, I had no idea there was this other side that I could do that too. And
I love
so
it.
fun.
I mean, I feel like in your marriage too, like this is what I want. I want all of you to go a little bit deeper in your relationship. Just because you think something isn't possible, I could never go there. When you're with a partner where you feel safe and you're actually having really healthy, helpful conversations and you feel safe to explore that, you're like, let me try to explore the dominant side. And if it didn't work, it would have been okay.
Right.
And then in him giving you permission to, maybe it's awkward the first time. I'm sure you weren't like standing up there with a whip.
No.
You didn't like, right?
And now I have floggers.
Now
and
she's
everything.
got the floggers and the whips, but not the first time. So I think also, you guys, another thing you can use is a spreader bar. It's not only great for like binding your feet, but it also adds in some like power play. So you can put Michelle was using it earlier, that you can, put this around your legs. I can't do it.
I think you should do it.
I'm wearing a dress and shoes.
You
Okay,
can
should I
put
take
it
off
to your
my ankles?
ankles, and
I'm
then
gonna
you
take
can
off my
also put it
shoes.
to your
Hands.
wrists.
It
helps too.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Michelle, don't shoot up my skirt. Okay, that doesn't fit on my toes. But so a spreader bar is hot because, you guys, it's sort of like it's power play. You have your hands and your feet. We've never done that. And my
I'm just
dress
getting
is
your
opening
ankles.
too.
Don't worry.
My
It's all
ankles,
Kristen.
and they're spread apart. And it's just another power play that you
Yes.
said you have a spreader bar, right, Christina,
Yes.
at home?
I
Oh
have,
my God, are you
I have
doing
multiple
I love
spreader
it.
Why am
You're
I doing
doing-
this? And I am dominant and submissive.
Yes, you are multi.
So that's what happens.
Faceted right here.
Okay, but you could also put your hands in there. You
Yes.
probably just have a bar. Or no,
Right.
do you
I
have everything?
I have one like this that you have, that where you can put your ankles and your wrists around, and I also have one that's just for your legs, so it actually just keeps them spread, and so that way it's almost like in a way a little painful, which I'm okay with, and then having to stay in that position while you're trying to have intercourse or sex or being dominant submissive.
So what part of it is painful? The actual your legs are because they're
spreading,
because it's all spread,
right?
So it's kind of
right.
like you are open, like your partner's essentially saying by you wearing the spreader bar, like you are open to me. I can
Right.
take you in any way.
I can leave you. I can come back, and
And you
then I
can't
can
move.
leave again. Exactly. Yeah, but it's really hot.
Yeah, you guys, this is all hot stuff. This is a little beginner bondage 101.
All right, we have Katie, who's 24 in California. She wants to know how to be more dominant in bed.
Okay, what's going on? Tell me.
So my husband is dominant in bed, but he sometimes wants me to be, and I get really shy, and I don't know what to do,
Yeah.
how I should go about trying to do it.
Yeah, it's a great question, Katie. So, because why would you know if you've never done it before? And so you're in the position that a lot of people are when our partner tells us they want something and we're like, I don't know what that means. Like, I'm not sure what it means to be dominant. So my first thing would be to ask him and say, can you walk me through a scenario or show me what you mean? How would you like me to be dominant? Because that also looks different. Does he want you to tie him up? Does he want you to spank him? Does he want verbal domination? Does he want you to verbally use dominant words? I think you get to totally ask here and say, you know what? I would love to get to know more about this. Tell me what that looks like to you. So there's nothing wrong with you don't know. And I was going to ask Christina here because Christina is her husband. You weren't into being dominant, right? And then he kind of taught you, you didn't know it was going to be your thing. And then how did you guys learn that? That might be helpful for Katie.
Yeah, I actually did exactly what your advice is that I asked him what is it that he liked. I asked it if it was something that he told me he likes to be humiliated.
Okay.
And so that's when I discovered, oh, okay. And then what is that kind of thing that you want to be humiliated, but do you want, he's like, I want to think of you being with like another man.
Okay.
And tell me what you would do with him, and that's going to humiliate me. And so he just wanted me to talk
So
more
verbally.
dirty.
Okay.
Exactly.
See, right. And how would you know?
Exactly.
Like you didn't know if he wanted handcuffs and to be spanked, but it was more
Right.
verbal domination.
He wanted more verbal domination.
Okay.
And he does now it's progressed to more like I can also, do bondage and I can also do other things with him. But it gets more as they, we both discover together. And it's actually very beautiful.
It keeps expanding. That is really beautiful. I love all the layers peeling back with Christina's sex life. So Katie, does that make sense to you? Could that be helpful to have just some more conversations? Maybe he can show you some porn that he likes that have some scenes in it that show what he's into. But you in no way have to be nailing this right now.
Yeah, I think because I get shy and embarrassed almost, so I think asking would probably be better because I just don't know what
of course,
exactly
and I'm
wants,
telling you don't have to know, Katie. You shouldn't know. Don't beat yourself up. Of course you're embarrassed, It's okay. Like you're shy. You haven't done it before. It's a new skill, and it's okay to ask a lot of questions.
All right, we have Carmen, 64 in Arizona, who wants to ask about anal toys.
Hey, Carmen. How you doing?
Hi, how are you, Dr. Emily?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for calling.
I wanted to thank you because thanks to you, I've had the first talk ever about sex and toys, and it was so wonderful. We're going to go to a store to buy some toys, and it brought us closer. You have no idea how amazing. We've been dating 2 years, and it's just gone up our level of, closeness. So thank you for that.
Yes, of course. I remember you're 64, right, Carmen? You're 64. And how old is he?
Yes. But just by listening to your program, just been amazing, which is even better. My question is about anal things.
Okay.
Because I had anal sex with my first husband, and sincerely, we were very tipsy, and I really enjoyed it, but I never wanted to do it again because I thought it was, perversion, that I was young.
Get it. Yeah.
And so then with my boyfriend a few, 10 years ago, I really tried to like it. He
well, here's the thing, Carmen.
We tried it, and
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It's mostly people have bad first-time experience like that. They're drunk and then oh, no, wrong hole it goes in, or it's going in, but you don't use lube and you don't go slow. So the most important thing is for you to be turned on and warmed up, to use a lot of actually, you're asking about toys. It says here is that there's the B Vibe has a beginner anal kit, and it has different size butt plugs to build up. It has amazing lube. It has a lube shooter actually to help move the lube along. So that might be, it has a beginner guide to anal. That's literally the best beginner guide I've ever read. It's very easy to read. There's pictures. I would start there, because for many women, Carmen, they don't realize they can actually have pleasure through anal because they just had a bad time. They had a bad experience. They never tried it again. It can actually give you a lot of pleasure if you do it right and slow down. How about that, Carmen?
The only time I enjoyed it was the first time, but I didn't want to do it because I thought there was a mental block on this is not good.
Right, it's taboo. Oh my God, I'm a bad person.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it, but I never wanted to. But then now, 10 years ago, when I tried it again, I couldn't get to like it. We tried it a few times.
Okay, great. But now you're going to try it, right, Carmen? Okay, well, now you'll try it. Try the beginner anal kit. Sure. Awesome. Thanks, Carmen.
All right, we have a Cindy, 55 in New Orleans, that wants to ask about squirting.
Hey, Sydney, what's going on? Thanks for calling.
So I have a question for you. I'm very, very lucky. My husband and I have a wonderful sex life. I'm multi-orgasmic. And about 4 or 5 years ago, my husband was able to get me to squirt, and now he is obsessed. He wants me to do it again, and I've been like, no, I don't want to try this again. I don't know what I did that caused it to happen. It happened. So I'd like to go ahead and fulfill his fantasy of having me do that again, but how does it happen? I mean, what did I do? Or what did he do that...
I mean, a lot of times it has to do. Yeah, it is. It is did it happen? Was he using his fingers, or were you having sex? Was he using a toy? Do you remember what was happening? And maybe I can explain to you more.
Sure, he was using his fingers.
Okay.
And I was standing, and he was sitting on the love seat.
Oh, okay. Well, this makes sense. So if you were standing, it means that your legs were closer together. You were probably tensing and relaxing your pelvic floor muscles, and you were probably clenching them together a little bit tighter too. So when you're standing, I actually, that's a really great way to squirt. I've squirted that way. And so I think that's probably why you were squeezing your pelvic floor muscles. He was using his fingers to penetrate you and going in and out and hitting your G-spot. Maybe try that again. It really is just continual stimulation of the G-spot. It helps to already be aroused, to have a clitoral orgasm first. For some women, it helps to kind of rub over the pubic mound, right above your clitoris. Using the magic wand vibrator kind of works for a lot of people. Yeah. Use that over your pubic mound. Have him use his fingers and then place the magic wand on your pubic mound. But that's where you apply pressure with it. I'm telling you, it's been like this. We had the owners of Magic Wand a few months ago. We love them. And I'm like, have you heard this a lot too? They're like, yeah, all the time. So that's what happens.
We had ours for years.
Yes.
Before I ever even discovered you, I was reading up and found one. And I thought, this is a good toy.
I don't know when you got it, but they have one that's wireless now, cordless.
Ooh.
Yeah. You don't even need to plug it in. Yeah, you don't need to plug it in. And it's just as powerful. It's cordless. I know. It was huge when that came out 4 years ago. Like, we had a parade. It was only in our office, but we were excited. So that's what it is. It's all G-spot. Play with the toys, play with his fingers, and stand up straight. That all makes sense to me. I would try to recreate that.
Go ahead and
Okay, awesome.
fulfill his fantasy.
All right, go do
it.
me. And
Thank you so
again,
much.
don't feel pressure, Sydney, but why not? See how it goes again. Thanks, Sydney.
After the break, I'll answer more of your questions about kink and BDSM.
This next one comes to us from Terry, who's 43 in Ohio. She writes, my husband and I are looking for recommendation for nipple clamps. We've never used them before and really don't know where to start. Are there beginner nipple clamps? Does the choice of clamps depend on level of sensitivity or desired sensation? For me, I'm super sensitive and can actually orgasm with nipple stim alone. Who knew that was possible, right? Any product recommendations? Thanks.
Oh, Terry, we knew it was possible, but we haven't had one yet here at Sex with Emily. I love that you have nipple orgasms. Nipple orgasms are a very common orgasm that women can have. Really can be a lot easier to achieve, but a lot of women don't take the time figuring that out. And nipple clamps are a great way to start. So here's the thing. There are some really cool ones that you can vary the sensitivity. I like the Bound to Please nipple clamps. If you go to our website and you click on the store, what's really cool about these, just like put in nipple clamps into our store, because they have screws on them that are connected by like a removable chain. And so you can tighten the grip just from very, very light to intense. So you can play with them. Your partner can play with them by just kind of moving a little screw that gets them a little bit tighter and a little bit tighter. So you can actually play with them, and they're really sexy looking. They have a few pairs that are great. So yes, absolutely get ones that you can vary. You can go from, sensitive to, you can go from tight to whatever I said. The ones that you can go from light to intense. Mm-hmm. So I think that'd be a great solution. And then also, I think use some lube if you haven't tried that on your breasts. That feels amazing.
Oh, by the way, speaking of lube, I'm obsessed with Playground. You know how much I love lube, and it takes a lot for me to actually recommend one and say, like, this is what I love. Well, Playground is new. It has all these incredible ingredients, especially if you have a vulva. These are the ingredients you'd want to put inside of you, but it's for everybody. It's great for partnered sex. They have 4 different essences. You have to just check it out. It's helloplayground.com, and all of my Sex with Emily listeners get a special discount, 15% off your first order using code SEXWithEmily. Go check them out. You'll be obsessed. Let me know what you think.
Okay, and then let's talk to Jen. She's 32 in Minnesota. Jen writes, hi, Emily. Here's my question. My husband and I have a great sex life. We love sex and love exploring together. I'd really like to have him choke me during sex, but he's scared of hurting me. We're fine with other BDSM play, but for some reason he's worried about the choking thing. Are there any tips or tricks or techniques that we could try? Thank you.
Yes, this is a great question, you guys, because breath play, autoerotic fixation, and breath play are serious work, guys. You have to know what you're doing when you want to choke your partner. I get that it's really hot. We see it a lot in porn right now. And the thing about choking and the attraction to it is that it really is more about like a domination, submission, like role playing, power play than it is, more than the not breathing. And so it's important to be conscious of this and to be cautious of this, because maybe what you're looking for is maybe just more of the domination part of it. So first of all, you always want to start with a light touch. So you could put his fingers on either side of your neck, like on either side of your esophagus, not on the front of your neck where you could choke actually and stop breathing. And he could just do it really lightly and make sure again that his hands are not on your throat, and maybe whisper something in your ear, or just like use more aggression with his hands grasped around your neck. Because I think that people can just like do this wrong. And I think that you want to be safe. You also want to make sure that you are using a clear mind. You're not using too much alcohol, too many drugs. You can also take a class. Like there are classes online you can take and like learn like what is the proper way to touch my partner's neck, because you just want to start really gently, like I said, either side of this esophagus, and figure out what pressure works for your partner. Because when you do push on the neck, that's where you gather the breath. You'll start coughing. It's not sexy and it's dangerous. So play with his fingers around your neck and not blocking your pathways. I think that's the best way to do it.
And I get why he's worried, because he should be. Be careful. Be mindful. Play with it.
So this next email comes to us from Chris, who's 26 in Illinois. He writes, "Hi, Emily. What is your take on couples who masturbate together, and how can I bring this up to a partner?"
Wow. Chris, hello. I'm so happy to get this question because I am obsessed with mutual masturbation, which I just talked about. I think it's amazing. And I think it, again, variety. It's a way to connect with your partner. It's a twofer, actually, because when you mutually masturbate with your partner, it's hot because you're actually looking at them please themselves. So it's hot. It's like visually stimulating. But then you're also learning. It's educational. I can't tell you how many times I've mutually masturbated with a new partner. Sounds funny, but I've had a lot of times where I'm like, oh, I didn't know that he put his hands around his balls and then he takes his hand up and over the tip of his penis. Like, so then I knew that that's where he's sensitive, where he likes to go my hand to go over it when I'm giving a hand job. And when you're looking at if you're with a female partner, you're like, oh, I didn't know that she put fingers inside of her. And so I think it's a really sexy, hot thing to do. That's one thing. So I'm a huge fan of it. How you bring it up is outside the bedroom to your partner, talking about your sex life or whatever's happening, and say, I've had these fantasies lately, and I thought it'd be so hot to see what you do when you masturbate, when you pleasure yourself, and I could do it at the same time, or I could just watch you. Would you be open to that? I think it would be really sexy to see what you do. I think that'd be hot. The best way to ease into it is if your partner says, no, I'm really embarrassed, I'm really shy, because you're right, that is the question that they're going to ask. That's a common reaction is, tell me more, what part about it makes you feel shy? And getting some more information, getting some more clarifying questions. Well, I don't know. I feel like I don't really know, and you wouldn't think I was sexy if I was doing it, and you might judge me. You might think it's weird. Okay, well, I'm telling you now, okay, let them say that. Well, yeah, no, I think anything you do is hot. Like, I think watching you in pleasure, and then I could learn more how to please you, and I just think it'd be so sexy. And then if they're like, no, I think it's weird or whatever, you could say, okay, well, maybe we could try it over our pants, or maybe I could do it and you could watch, or maybe I could masturbate you, or if they say no, just say, okay, like bring it up again, maybe in another way. Like, I think getting a little bit deeper and getting some more clarifying questions around and answers around why they don't want something would help ease it along.
We have Jeff, who's 31 in New Jersey. He wants to know how he can ease his new girlfriend into the idea of wearing a strap-on.
Oh, there you go. Welcome. Hey, Jeff. Thanks for calling.
Did you like that wordplay with a little ease on in?
Yeah, ease it on in, baby. I loved it. I love everything about this. Tell me more. How long have you guys been together? Okay.
So we've been dating about 5 months. Mm-hmm. She's great. I love her to death. Beautiful, smart, and like the whole 9 yards. But not very adventurous in bed. And again, 5 months is, I don't know if it's long or short. It's about time to talk about what
you guys want in the bedroom.
Yeah, and I kind of hinted at it, and it was almost like a no-go. Like, I tried to guide the finger there, and it gets pushed away.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is a deal breaker or not.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing, Jeff. So you're 31 years old. Is she your age as well?
She's 28.
Okay. So here's the thing. You've been together 5 months. I think you have to have the conversation about sex outside the bedroom. Because if you're telling me she's not that adventurous, it's not that likely that she would be into you leading her finger towards your ass, because she's, and it's, he loved it.
Jeff, see, everyone's yelling at me for laughing, but I just think butt stuff is funny in general.
Butt stuff is funny. People love
no
butt
judgment.
stuff.
I just think it's funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
Thank you.
But Jeff, I think it's kind of like outside the bedroom. You can say, you know what? I'm so into you. I think you're hot. I love the sex that we're having, and I'd love to be such an amazing lover to you. So I want to know, would you be open to figuring out together what we could do to really turn you on, take our sex life, take your orgasm to the next level, make it about her pleasure, make it about all that. And then we can kind of ease into, and this is what I would like. But I think the more that you open her up and she starts to feel safe with you, and the only reason she's not adventurous is because she probably has some judgments around sex and being adventurous. It could be her religion, or something happened to her, or her friends are judging. We don't know, but she's not opening up yet. Yeah. Or that's probably it. Or it could just be that, she literally hasn't had enough experience on the planet, so she doesn't even know what's on the menu to be adventurous. So it's a matter of you're going to have to be an educator.
Can I ask another question?
Okay, Jeff.
I'm sorry. When you guys, I don't know how old you are, but when you were younger and stuff like that, was that something? I've always dated younger women, not to say that I'm looking to date somebody 10 years older, but like, you think, is it an age thing? Like, do you, the women, or is she maybe still figuring that stuff out at this
Well,
point? Like,
I'd love to say yes. Well, definitely younger women in their 20s, early, 20s who've just, haven't been having sex as long. There's definitely a learning curve for sure. But I'm telling you, I have women who call me every single night in their 40s, 50s, their 30s who still have not figured it out. Most women are not invested in their pleasure. They're not invested in their sexual health, their sexual wellness, and their pleasure. They don't even know it. So I would like to say it more skews younger, but we hear from people every single day. So, but in this case, it might be that she's 28 years old. She hasn't been in a lot of relationships. And when she has, she was having a straight old missionary in and out guy pounding away at her like a jackhammer. We don't know, but I'm assuming that might have been what's been going down with her.
But also, I feel like a lot of men are adverse to butt stuff on themselves. And so it's like a conditioning that we adapt. Because like there's guys that I've been with who are open about that and want that. And then other guys are like very adverse to it, even though they may like it if they tried it.
Right.
There's a judgment around it.
For sure.
But she could have been like absorbing that information unconsciously as well.
100% did.
Yeah.
She's probably, because you said she's not adventurous. You're 100% right, Stephanie. She probably has never like, what,
one's
a
ever
guy
asked
wants to
her
figure
that.
his butt. Is he gay?
Yeah.
That's so weird, So she probably doesn't really understand it. Every single day on the show, I'm informing people and I'm giving them the information to understand that, like, yeah, guys got a prostate. They can have killer orgasms. It does not make you gay. It just makes you smart.
Fuck it up.
Because you realize, whoa, shit, I can have another kind of orgasm. Like if I was a dude, I'd be like, sign me up all the time. So there is a big learning curve for this, Jeff. That's it for today's episode. See you on Friday. Thanks for listening to Sex with Emily. Be sure to like, subscribe, and give us a review wherever you listen to the podcast, and share this with a friend or partner. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Sex with Emily. Oh, I've been told I give really good email. So sign up at sexwithemily.com. And while you're there, check out my free guides and articles for more ways to prioritize your pleasure. If you'd like to ask me about your sex life, dating, or relationships, call my hotline, 559-TALK-SEX. That's 559-825-5739. Or go to sexwithemily.com/askemily. Special thanks to Acast for powering the Sex with Emily podcast. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com.